Hello everyone, I am Crota and I will be casting a game between Focus and Lawliet. Lawliet spawning as the pink Night Elf player here at what I will call the 4 o'clock position. Meanwhile, down over here we have Focus spawning as the yellow Orc here. So Night Elf versus Orc here on Turtle Walk, as it is most likely going to be a Blade Master versus Demon Hunter matchup. Now, as things do get underway, and some comments that I've read sometimes were, why don't I, slow things down and rewind if I miss something in one of my casts? And that's obviously because there is no rewind feature in the WarCraft 3 replay system. If I could rewind, if I do realize that I missed something and I can go back 10 seconds in time, I would do that and go ahead and cover it. However, I am casting this as though it is live, not slowing things down or speeding things up, as no one wants to see a Blade Master moving at half speed. Look how slow he is running. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go back to normal speed there. Blade Master now running back around. He's going to pick up a Circlet of Nobility, may even pick up a Dust of Appearance as he goes after this Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi is going to drop a very, very powerful item in addition to that Watcher Ward, which will help him keep track of what is going on in this neck of the woods. One thing to keep track of though is Focus does not have healing salves or a speed scroll on his Blade Master as of yet. Claws of Attack +9 is the item on that Blade Master, so that means that if the Blade Master can get very, very far into the game, perhaps even up to level 4, that critical strike is just going to be that much stronger. +11 damage sitting at level 1. And that Blade Master already hitting as strong as a level 2, maybe even level 3 Blade Master who didn't get very strong items. Demon Hunter, on the other hand, picking up a Slippers of Agility and a Ring of Protection. That additional +2 armor will take a little bit off of the edge on that Blade Master attack. As you can see, the Blade Master is now off here to the north. Is he going to pick up anything? He does use a healing salve there, and he's just going to simply wait. No, he's not going to wait. He's going to go after the Ogre Magi, feeling confident enough to take it down, even though this is in Lawliet's neck of the woods. This is absolutely a terrible, terrible situation to be in. You can see that the Blade Master now looking to back it off here. Demon Hunter does have mana burn, so if that Ogre Magi does go below 40 hit points, who's going to steal it? Oh no, Blade Master gets the item, picks up a Ring of Regeneration, gets mana burn though, and that means he will not be able to walk away, but Healing Salve with Ring of Regeneration, and that Blade Master is going to be replenishing many of those lost hit points. Down over here, you can see Watcher Ward is there as well. Blade Master now wandering around. Is he going to be able to put pressure inside Lawliet's base? No, as the Ancient of Wonders is coming into play. I do not see any Ancients of Wind yet, as we are still at, well, teching to Tree of Ages. Stronghold. Apparently they're having a nice little conversation right there. Stronghold about to be upgraded. We can see the Shadow Hunter already, well, lying in wait in my mind's eye. As you know, Blade Master really, really likes the additional benefit of the Hex and the Healing Wave. There's the Healing Salve, picking up a Slippers of Agility, and that Blade Master already at +16 damage. +16 damage, 65 damage already, sells that Ring of Regeneration, and that is so that he can open up another item slot when the time comes. Demon Hunter and Blade Master simply walk by each other. Not quite sure what the Demon Hunter was thinking, but that Blade Master is going to go ahead and... Are they going to one-on-one with the Blade Master and the Demon Hunter? I don't think that is a fight that the Demon Hunter really wants to try. The Blade Master, with +16 damage just at level 2, would be able to slice and dice through that Demon Hunter, even though he does have evasion and a fair amount of armor. Moving back around, Shadow Hunter. Oh no, not the Shadow Hunter, excuse me. Yes, of course, Tauren Chieftain, in order to counteract those Druids of the Talon. Also well placed are the two grunts right here. The two grunts in a position so that the Bestiary and the Spirit Lodge are going to be very, very well protected from any melee attacks. Tauren Chieftain also going to be taking Endurance Aura first. A very, very common tactic, as that increases the damage of the Blade Master further since he is attacking faster. Now, the big follow-up question is, can the Tauren Chieftain get up to level 2 in time, as Shockwave means that there is an additional target that the Demon Hunter needs to mana burn besides that Blade Master. The Blade Master will then be able to windwalk a little bit more consistently and perhaps be able to take down a handful of units, as we are looking at the Bestiary training up its first Raider, followed by that Ensnare. Spirit Lodge getting Spirit Walker and that Spirit Walker Adept, as well as we're looking to go into Tree of Eternity. There is the dual Ancients of Wind that I was expecting earlier, as the Tauren Chieftain now creeping out this creep camp here. Without the Ogre Magi, it will not get him to level 3. I don't believe a 3/3/3 creep camp when sharing experience with a Blade Master, that's not going to be quite enough. Just going to be a little bit shy there. May try and go after these center orange creep camps now that do drops potions of healing, potions of invulnerability. Instead, going to be going after one of the much more difficult creep camps, going after that Ogre Warrior. The Raider, I do not believe, has Ensnare. No, he just has Ensnare. All right, so the timing is going to be perfect. There's the Ensnare now on the Ogre Lord. Ogre Lord, once it gets that half hit point, should try to start walking back. Nope, not going to even try walking back, just engaging there. There it goes, tries to walk back, loses it for just a moment as we see a Crystal Ball being dropped. Crystal Ball, not that great of an item. Quickly tries to do a reveal, sees that his opponent is not creeping the opposing Ogre Magi creep camp, and now Focus has a good idea of where his opponent is and what he can do to follow things up. Focus already sitting at level 3, Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 2, going up against a level 1 Beastmaster and a level 1 Goblin Tinker and a level 2 Demon Hunter. Alright, so the Demon Hunter almost level 3, the Beastmaster almost level 2, and the Goblin Tinker, well, just joined the party, so he will be a little bit late in getting to level 2. Blade Master coming on its way over. Tauren Chieftain now should be able to get to level 3 here after the Gargantuan and 2 giant sea turtles. Meanwhile, in the top right-hand side of the map, Ogre Lord with Fairy Fire at -1 armor, taking 10% additional damage on every single attack. That is indeed very, very great. Warsong Battle Drums being dropped here as the Ogre Magi gonna fall, gonna drop a Rune of Healing, which is desperately needed by a lot of units there, healing back up. Goblin Tinker, Beastmaster, Demon Hunter, 3, 2, 1 across the board. Orb of Venom also being added as well, as the Blade Master now going to perhaps try to do a little bit of stealing. Alright, Scroll of Town Portal already being used, as the timing on that was absolutely perfect, even getting the Blade Master mana burn. Tauren Chieftain looking to finish off this creep camp here. There is a Hawk keeping track of what is going on though, and this is really going to come down to execution. Focus seems to have a slight advantage overall, 49/50 compared to 40/50. All right, I take that back, a big advantage. But with Ancient of Wind now starting to train up those Druids of the Talon at Mastery, there is going to be a slight advantage in terms of tech. Now, the size of the army though and the level of these heroes could be the difference, as the Demon Hunter is at level 3, but the Beastmaster and Goblin Tinker are only at level 2 and level 1 respectively. In addition, the longer the game goes, the better it will be for Focus, since he has already set up the beginnings of an expansion. What does Lawliet need to do? Lawliet needs to get a very, very strong engagement off early, be able to slowly dwindle down some of the mana on those Spirit Walkers, or perhaps pick off a handful of the other units. Still, the big issue is also Spirit Link spreading out a lot of that damage here. Now, Lawliet having this pocket factory here, he knows that it is going to provide a little bit of cover. Those Clockwork Goblins do in fact detonate on death, giving a little bit of additional damage, as well as now we're going to see Lawliet in a bit of trouble here. He is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going after Orc Burrows. There goes one. Potion of Invulnerability used, as we now see the engagement going across. Alright, Demon Hunter does have an Orb of Venom. Gonna try and stay alive. You can see Staff of Preservation quickly used on him, as the Tauren Chieftain has been, well, was cycloned, but does get in one critical shockwave across multiple Druids of the Talon. And with that, I think Focus is just going to easily take this game. Lawliet comes back with the Demon Hunter, sees his army is just a former shadow of its once large self, and that is pretty much going to be it. Goblin Tinker trying his best to fight back all of these units. However, gonna get wind-walked, get ensnared, and get taken out, as the Tauren Chieftain and Blade Master have felled the level 2 Goblin Tinker. Demon Hunter, the only real unit left standing between, Beastmaster and the Demon Hunter, only 2 units really left standing in between these 2 armies here. One Druid of the Talon just a pixel too far, as the ensnare does go down, and the Druid of the Talon gets sniped. Back across over here, we see the supply count 35 over 50. Goblin Tinker now getting resurrected 40 over 50. Meanwhile, Focus does have the benefit of this additional economy off over here, so he is generating 14 gold a second compared to 10 gold a second. He is, remember, in low upkeep. That slight difference though in army size is going to make a tremendous difference. As units start to fall, all you're going to see is Focus just continue to grow and grow in terms of size. Alright, Quillbeast comes across over here and taking a look down over here, sees nothing really going on. Meanwhile, Blade Master going to go ahead and finish off our Gargantuan Sea Turtle. Tauren Chieftain now up to level 4. That means level 2 Endurance Aura, most likely, as the Mana Burn now comes in. Demon Hunter fighting an uphill battle already. There's the Ensnare. Demon Hunter, no Potion of Invulnerability to be found. And that was the big issue. By not having Potions of Invulnerability early on, that made a tremendous difference. Lawliet actually having the higher resource score, but that's because of lumber harvested. Too much essence from those trees and not enough units, not enough experience, gives Focus game number 1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.